stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave a roof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing today? Well, if that didn't give you goosebumps, I don't know what will. I'm Robert Santos, and welcome to this version's The Veterans Bench. We have a few things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why is Ohio the best state to live in, and why is Ohio the worst state to live in. We're going to focus on the bad. We all know we always focus on the good. We say, hey, we're proud of this, we're proud of that. But we lose sight of what really needs our attention, what really needs our focus. So we're going to jump into that. Again, if you guys don't know, I'm Robert Santos. Thanks for joining. And this is this week's edition of the Veterans Bench. All right. As you guys know, during live streams, there's always some issues. Sorry about the echo previously. We fixed it. I made sure I turned the speaker off, so there should be no echo. If you guys have any questions as we go through this whole entire conversation, ask. Be more than happy to. How you doing, Dean, Amanda, Maria, Jim? I'm gonna let a few people come on, but we're gonna talk about it right away. We're gonna just jump right into it. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook, I know some of us try to avoid Facebook. I have my campaign page or my professional page, and then I have my personal page. I posted something on there earlier saying, hey, I want people to voice why they are and they are not proud to be an Ohioan. Touchy subject. I got a few individuals backlashing on that, but there's a reason why I asked that question. As you guys know, what I said earlier is, we have to be able to acknowledge our faults before we can fix them. All right, so grab your coffee. This is going to be a long one. I want to say that the only one who actually hit the nose is going to be, bear with me 1 second. God love live. Is Ben Wheeler. I don't know. He's actually on right now. I'm not sure if he's watching. He's the only one who hit it on the dot. He said he is very proud of our traditions in Ohio, and I am too. It's one of the reasons why I chose to stay here. You guys don't know, I'm not originally from Ohio. I'm actually from New England. I spent half my life in Mass, half my life in Maine, half my life in the Marine Corps. I know that the math doesn't add up, but you get it. He loves the traditions. However, we are fourth in the county for human trafficking, or excuse me, country. Beautiful in nature as a pro, and he also said fifth in the county or country for heroin ODs, and that's a con. That right there is the reason for my post. Now, I am proud to be here in Ohio. I'm proud to live here. I'm proud to have made this my home, and I plan to keep this my home. But we have to focus now on the bad and not just the good. It's, using an analogy, I was talking to my wife. Everyone knows about Jeffrey Dahmer, right? I know I was the younger millennials don't know who that is. I always hear some crazy kook, but you watch these crime shows. We'll change the subject or change the what route I'm going at. You watch these crime shows and you see how horrific this individual is. But then when they go and interview the parents or the family, they say, "Oh, he was a loving child, or he was so great. We never would have thought this. No, we still love him." And they still visit him. And they still think highly of him, despite of what he did. So what we need to do as Ohioans is to acknowledge the good, but we need to focus and have our eyes set on what's bad with Ohio so we can properly fix it. If we keep focusing on the good, we're never going to fix the actual problems. If you guys don't know, Youngstown is the second worst in this nation for childhood poverty. We are at 59.6% of all of our children here are in poverty. That is ridiculous. We are the fourth worst state in the United States. Out of 50, we are the fourth worst with human trafficking. Fourth, and only by a little. We would be second. Now, yes, Ohio has made great strides. Just in 2019, we had over, just in October, which is great, we had 179 arrests. All right, we found 45. Another incident, we found 37. Another incident, we found 137 individuals, and we freed them from this being trafficked. It's great. It's outstanding. I'm really proud. However, just one for me is too much. One individual stuck in being the sex trade, child trafficking, human trafficking, however you want to label it. It's all, to me, the same. Whether it's child or adult, doesn't matter. It should not be happening. So I'm proud of our law enforcement for jumping in on that. Ohio does have one of the leading human trafficking task force out there in the nation, which is great, but they can't do it alone. We shouldn't need that task force. Why is Ohio so horrible with sex trafficking, or human trafficking? Is because we are right there centered. We're right next to Canada. We have the highways, we have the trains, it's all there. It's not as simple as slavery, but it is slavery. It's not like way back when. This is like you talk to a victim and they will preach to you that they are not a victim, but they are. That's how fearful they are of their captors. It's horrible. William, Dean, It is. Obviously my post I wanted people not to talk about persons. So I guess there's a few individuals say, hey, pro, we voted for Trump, con, we got DeWine. We know that. But my whole thing was, I don't want to point fingers at Democrats and Republicans, libertarians, and the Green Tea Party. I'm not pointing at individuals at elected officials. It was the issues. And then from there, we were going to take the step over on what is actually the reason for it. Can we blame our elected officials? Damn straight we can. All right, but can we blame all of them? No. Some of them work tirelessly for it. Don Manning, God rest his soul, he actually was working hard to fight for this stuff. He was pushing legislation or trying to create legislation to push it before his passings. Now it's up to Al to take on those reins and keep moving forward. It's up to individuals such as ourselves, people like us, to step forward, vote for the individual who's going to fight, not just give the same spiel. If you ever watch any debate or election, you'll see these individuals always say the same thing: gun rights. It's all the same thing: gun rights, illegal immigrants, education, and then healthcare. Those are very, very important issues. By focusing on that, though, negate the fact that we have all these other crappy, shitty areas that need to get focused on. Our unemployment rate is at 5.6. I was going to talk about that as well on what's wrong with Ohio. But given the certain situation we're in right now with COVID and a horrible governor putting down lockdowns, restrictions on our entire everything we do, it's kind of hard to judge, especially when our unemployment rate was doing really good. It was actually declining very, very rapidly, which is great. But now with the whole COVID and the CARES Act that was going on, and now Democrats want to go ahead and implement the HEROES Act or whatever the hell they want to call it every single time they amend it. There's more individuals not wanting to go back to work. There are jobs out there, may not be the ideal jobs, but there's jobs out there. You drive down the street, you'll see it. You know, Pizza Hut, Burger King, McDonald's, positions like that are in fact actually hiring. So there are jobs out there. However, going from a full-time job, getting paid $15, $20 an hour, and then getting busted down to the minimum wage right now, which is $8.55, is definitely not going to be good. So we definitely need to make sure we have suitable jobs here in the area. So I can blame the elected officials for that. Trudy, thanks for joining. I'm missing a few of y'all's comments. I'm sorry. Some of them are long. I want to make sure I don't get off track too much. I do have a tendency of doing that because there is so much things that I want to focus on, I want to do. One of the things that we'll talk about today is the 3 races that are in my site. I have 3. And the reason why I have 3 is like I have blah, I can't even talk. This Dracula again, you know, blah, blah, blah. The reason why I have 3 is that, like I told each and every single one of you before, is that I'm not going to run against another individual such as myself. If there's a true patriot running, I'll be more than happy to work with them and we'll run. The more patriots we have running for different offices, the more that we'll actually be able to work together for the greater good, to actually improve these areas such as the sex trafficking that's going on, our poverty level, the drugs that are going on here in this area, our unemployment rate. It's the only way to do it. If you have, like, for example, if Christina Hagan is running for Congress again, I wouldn't run against her. She's an outstanding individual, or whatever race she wants to run in. I would not run against someone like her. I think she's great. I think she will do a good job. But talking to the individuals, I'll say, hey, what are you going to run for? It's like playing chess. You guys don't know what chess is. You got to position your pieces in a good position so that way you can overtake the other opponent's king. There's no sense of all of you trying to move the same piece at once, and then next you know is you're kind of ignoring this side over here and nothing's being done, which is one of the reasons why none of these legislations, these regulations that are being pushed forward are either being pushed away because they're nonsense and they're not even being done. You guys know, I forget what the actual bill is called, but it was called it was a nursing bill. It's a state bill. It's been through a couple times, but Don Manning, before he passed, was actually pushing it forward. It was to end mandatory overtime as a condition of employment for nursing. That's the type of legislation I think needs to get pushed. We're just seeing these legislations collect dust. So I did see that last night. You were there at Dwayne's house. Yes, I know I'm kind of jumping subjects, but yes. But I think that one bill in regards to the nursings is actually will be beneficial. I do know we have a dire need for nurses, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be allowed to work overtime. I'm all for that. You know, you say, hey, listen, you're a nurse. You're going to get hired on here. You are mandated to work at least 50 hours a week is one thing. But to work a 12-hour shift and be told you have to work another 12-hour shift that day, you get tired, fatigued, you make mistakes. We all have jobs. We all work. We all get fatigued rather quickly, especially after a 12-hour shift. Some of our jobs aren't really life or death. Our nurse's job is life or death. If they give the wrong amount, if they do a math problem wrong, or they enter the wrong amounts into the computer and the computer spits out a certain type of medication that's going to kill the patient, that's on them. Or if they're too tired and they're driving home because they just worked 36 hours and they get in a car accident, which happened, what now? William, I think that's truly, if you think about it, William brought a good point. I mean, everyone's pretty much brought that same point up, William, how they want to cripple the economy. And it's ridiculous because our economy right now is great. I mean, look where it's at right now with everything pretty much being shut down. We're doing good. But they're failing to talk about these issues. They're failing to talk about what is actually needs to be discussed. I've said it once, I said it 1,000 times. If you shut down a school and that child of yours now has to stay home and they're underage, yes, Ohio does not have an age limit that you can be stay at home, but basically, according to Ohio law, my 4-year-old could stay home alone. But is that really right? No, it's definitely not. You'd be a shitty dad or a mom if you let your 4-year-old stay home alone. But there are hours you're allowed to leave your kid alone. Like my 11-year-old, he's about to be 12. The suggested time is 3 hours. My son is perfectly capable of being on his own for the day, so I can go to work. However, if the wrong person knows, makes that phone call, CDC comes, it's a whole mess. And even though Ohio's law states that if you think that your child is fit, capable of taking care of himself, that's fine. But guess what? When the government gets involved, now they're the ones who are going to determine if your child is suitable to actually be a home alone. Doesn't care what you think. And they will probably side with children's services or themselves because money's in it for them. I just got a text. I'll make sure it wasn't. There is actually, if you guys don't know, this just came off. And I swear if another spider crawls on me, you're going to hear me cry like a little girl. I do not do spiders. There's a civil disobedience rally at, bear with me, Saturday, November 28th. That's today. I just got the text. Okay, well, it's in a couple hours. From 9 to 11. Top Notch Diner in Cortland, Ohio. If anyone's in Cortland, you guys all for this civil disobedience rally. It's at Top Notch Diner at Cortland, Ohio from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. today. I was going to say the 28th, that's today. But that's only in a couple hours. So if you guys are looking for some food, good time, good people, go out to Top Notch Diner in Cortland, Ohio. And they're going to remain open. So good for them. I definitely support them because businesses do need to stay open. If you guys don't know or aren't aware of this, there's a lot of individuals that lost their jobs or lost hours. Might as well just lost their jobs. How many elected officials stood up and said, I want a pay cut? Put the money back into the individuals who need it. Let's do more for the area. I know Michael Loychuk did. But every single one of them is still collecting a paycheck. The governor, all of them, lieutenant governor, congressmen and women, our state representative, our Senate, our trustees, our commissioners, everyone in the government has still been collecting a paycheck. How does that make you feel? I know for one, I'm actually a little pissed off. My hours have not been affected. I work in a job where my hours won't be affected, so it does not affect me personally. However, I do know a lot of individuals where they are being affected. They did lose hours. I have friends that work at Pizza Hut. You know, I have friends that work at McDonald's. I have friends that work everywhere, construction, you name it. Their hours are being cut. They're losing jobs. They're losing businesses. They're losing contracts. There's a business that gets contracts from the National Guard. But if the National Guard is not doing their monthly training, then they don't need any type of contracts. They don't need that food. So what happens there? That means obviously, one, the National Guard isn't training, which we need them to train. Two, that business that normally would have the contract for the National Guard is losing hours or losing money, which means they have to let certain individuals go or say, hey, we're on temporary suspension or you're on temporary leave, unpaid leave. The CARES Act only provides so much money to individuals. Tom, thanks for joining. Michael. The whole thing that what the government's doing right now is they're misdirecting us to these main issues. And yeah, this is what I want to talk about today, which is the main focus, was the sex trafficking, the poverty, the crime rate that's going on. There's shootings going on every single day that's in this area. We don't hear any of our elected officials talking about it. Now that the election's over, I haven't heard a damn word from any single one of them. I haven't heard anything from Tim Ryan, Michelle Lepore-Hagan, any of them. Ditzler. I mean, all he's doing is spending more money on stupid, wasteless crap, hand washing sinks, which he could definitely have gotten locally at probably half, if not a fraction of the price. Which he probably bought online on Facebook, because I saw what he bought. I was seeing it on Facebook. These hand washing devices, which is like dividers and stuff. And you got them for the schools. Okay, I get it. Misappropriation of funds, man. You could have used that money, had a local individual make something like that, kept the money in here. Instead, you brought the money elsewhere. Yeah, it's a local company, but it wasn't here in Mahone County. I want to turn that off, do I? So that was my name topic right here. All right, I wanted to bring attention. Obviously, I love Ohio. It's why I chose to stay here. I got here in 2010. Obviously, I was still a Maine resident until I got out of the Marine Corps, which is 2013, at which point I made Ohio my home, my resident. I wanted to. I liked it here. I like the people here. I love it here. It's awesome, man. You guys are great. It's why I wanted to stay. But the fact that we are number 2, the county, specifically Youngstown, we are the second worst city in child poverty. For sex trafficking, you guys realize that it's Columbus and, so not Columbus. Yeah, it is Columbus and Cleveland are in the top 10 or top 20 for sex trafficking or human trafficking. Top 20 in cities in this whole entire nation. We got 2 of the worst. It's ridiculous. We're 4th worst state for sex trafficking in this entire nation. Our poverty is horrible. I could talk about that. I was actually going to discuss that. In regards to the one individual actually popped up on Timothy on YouTube. Don't have your last name. But he actually wanted to ask about how I feel about raising the minimum wage. You know what? Throughout the years, the minimum wage is always going to raise over time here and there. But do I think it needs to go up to $15 an hour? I do not. The reason being is this. If you have a minimum wage job, you should be 16, 17 years old. And if you're older than that, that means you just haven't worked a day in your life. If you're 16, 17 years old, maybe even 18, getting your first job, that's a stepping stone. You don't need it. You're still in school. You're not paying for anything. Still living with mom and dad. So you don't need anything besides that $8.55 an hour. But if you're out of college, working at minimum wage, I would like to know what you went to college for. Liberal arts degree? Did you, like, seriously? I don't think the minimum wage should be $15 an hour. People can live off of $8.55 when you're living with your mom and dad. All right, obviously that's a stepping stone. You work, you prove your worth. You actually can get raises. You can get promotions. It'll happen. I actually worked at Pizza Hut. Got minimum wage there. First week, they saw how hard I worked. They saw my background. They asked if I wanted to get promoted. I'm like, sweet, yeah, sure, why not? A month later, got promoted again. It's that simple. Work your butt off. You'll get promoted. You work hard. You go the extra mile. Have some initiative. You'll get that money. You'll get the hours. So I don't think the minimum wage should be raised, especially if you raise the minimum wage $15 an hour. You know how many businesses can barely afford to pay their employees $10 an hour? I mean, do you want to pay $10 a gallon for milk? I sure don't. It's what's going to happen. You raise the price, people are going to be getting out of work because that business, especially a small business, local business owner, is not going to be able to hire on that many employees. Someone who probably can hire on 4 or 5 employees at $9, $10 an hour will have to cut back. If they got to pay them all $15 an hour, they're going to cut it back to 3 or 4 to make up for that, and they're going to have to work twice as hard. Makes no sense. Or they're going to have to raise their prices. Right now, pizza's like what, $7, $8 for just plain cheese? You're going to pay $15 for plain cheese after that. Exactly, Dean. Which is another reason why I actually definitely am all for trade schools. Trade schools are outstanding. I mean, I like the MCCTC, TCTC, CCTC, all the CCCs that are out there. Kids are getting their high school degree, all right, their high school diploma, and they're still learning a trade, and they're kind of still getting to know themselves. What is it they want to do? These trade schools, like the TCTCs or the MCCTCs, all the CCCs that are out there, they at least give individuals eyes on and hands on something that they think is something they want to do. And what's the point of going to college for aviations and you're learning everything and you finally get hands on your senior year? You just wasted thousands upon thousands of dollars and you find out this is not for me. If you have it at trade school here at high school, you're actually doing those type of things. You're like, I don't like it. You can easily change over. You're not wasting money. It's what we need to do. We need to bring back the high schools that have the automotives, that have the woodworking. I had it. I had architecture. I thought I was interested in architecture. I actually took that class. I completely sucked at it. I knew I was horrible at it, but you know what? It was something that I was planning on possibly thinking about doing because it seemed interesting. Well, after I took that class, which I passed with a D, thank goodness, all right, I knew it wasn't for me. But imagine if I started going to college for that. That's what we need. Not just trade schools, but our high schools need to start having those. We need to get those back in there. We need to start having these kids learn early the trades so that way they kind of understand what it is they want to do with their life. Michael, you're saying 2017 statistics, 7,000 a day. 2017 flu epidemic, 45 million contracted the flu, 21 million had a seat. Oh, I'm agree with you on that, Michael. I mean, I definitely know. I mean, if you guys notice that we're in the flu season, we haven't heard jack crap about what's going on with the flu because the flu is just being categorized in COVID. That's what they did. I don't trust these numbers that they're giving. I don't care. I don't want to see these so-called facts. The only reason being is that these facts were facts months ago when we were having the previous spike that was going on. And then a month or 2 months later, after the so-called spike where tons of people were dying and catching the COVID, and it's ridiculous. There's a pandemic that's going on. Oh, by the way, we're sorry. Out of the 50,000 people, it was actually only 2 that had it. We were wrong with the numbers. We double counted people. So I don't trust these numbers. If they were more transparent and more honest from the get-go, then maybe we would. And that's where we have this divide with the COVID. We have individuals who are just don't trust it. I don't trust our government. I know I jumped off from the trade schools, but it's going on with COVID. If you guys had a trade, for example, people lost their jobs from the COVID, you can easily jump in another one. I actually have a friend right now, Tom Norton. He's over at Michigan. He has a construction company who's actually looking for people to do work in Dayton. They're paying the mileage. They're paying for the room and board that's there. It'd be about, I think 12, 14 weeks. But it's a lot of work. It's actually good pay, but it's work. If someone had a trade, they would actually know where it's at. Exactly, William. My first job was washing dishes. I think that's when minimum wage was like $4.25 an hour. It was at the Goldenrod over at York Beach in York, Maine. And then from there, I moved to Union Bluff Hotel, which was also a dishwashing job. And I moved to York Golf and Tennis, which I was a ball boy, getting paid minimum wage. And then from there, I became a security guard. Yes, I was a mall cop. Sorry. But then I joined the Marine Corps. Because my whole life, I wanted to be a cop, and that's what I wanted to do. Started as a security guard, joined the Marine Corps, did that, got out of the Marine Corps. Can't be a cop because I have a bad back. What can I do? Try to run for office to make changes so we can improve the lives of our kids. But I get what you're saying, William. That's what it is. Start them young. A lot of individuals nowadays, these kids, they're actually being babied and hand-fed everything till they're 19, 20 years old. We have a kid right now, my stepson. He wants to work, and we'll be more than happy. We're trying to find him a job because this whole COVID thing, it is kind of hard, especially with him being 16, going to school. But he's a hard worker. So these kids need to actually start working at the age of 16, get paid minimum wage, learn to be financially responsible. Yes, hold on a second here. I'll put that link up. I have been watching the news about the election. We'll jump on that subject for a little bit. Listen, my thoughts on the whole entire election is going to be split down the middle between two of y'all, or three ways. One, I really hope the fraud gets out in the open, which we all know it is, but hope everything works out and Trump is still our president. I really do. His administration, him, really did. Yes, he has a mouth. Yes, he needs to zip it sometimes because whatever, I get it. He's not a politician. I think he's an asshole. I'm an asshole too. Yes, I cussed, but in a good way. He doesn't care about your pocket, as in his fellow politicians. He cares about our pockets. He cares about our economy. So I do hope Trump, it works in his favor. But you know what? I'm a Marine. I plan for the worst and hope for the best. If he does get it, great. Nothing really changes. Nothing changes. Everything keeps going, except the fact that the left obviously will still try to impeach him for another 4 years. But if Biden becomes president, man, I want to go dig in a hole. But if he does, we need to make it very, very, very clear to our elected officials, from our commissioners, our state reps, our senates, our congressmen, sent up there, is that he, in fact, or they, all of them, do what's right for us, not them. I'm saddened that I'm not hearing anything from our elected officials anymore. As much as I hate Tim Ryan, I cannot stand him at all. Everyone knows how much I cannot stand Tim Ryan. I really wish he would get his head out of his rear end and start focusing on us. I wish Michelle Leporhagen, my state representative, would start doing stuff for the people and not just things to help her get reelected. Now, obviously, this is going to be the last term she could serve. I would love to see what she's going to do on her last term. Start voicing it. Everyone was still finding time to talk to us daily. But now the election is over, they don't have time because they're too busy pushing legislation, apparently. Well, where is this legislation? Where's Tim Ryan's new legislation? Where's Michelle Leporhagen's new legislation? Where's David Ditzler, our commissioners? What are they doing? What is our trustees doing? I ran church shit from our trustees in Austintown. I have to go search for them. I should be hearing about them daily, not just on Facebook, because I know they got lives and stuff like that, but I want to hear something, or at least weekly. Now, I'm able to do a weekly thing. I have a busy life. I work full time. I got 3 kids. I have a wife that's going to school. I have work that needs to get done around the house, and I can find the time. And I damn well will guarantee you that when I get elected, whatever I get elected for, I will make damn sure I have time for each and every single one of you to tell you what I did that day or week to keep you all informed, because transparency is the key, to keep you informed of what's going on. The reason why we, the people, get a little upset is because we're not sure what is going on. Last time I checked, the people who get elected are our employees. We are the boss. So I want to know what my employees are doing. Every day, I get a daily update to my employees at work. I will make sure you, my bosses, will always know what's going on. Or if nothing happened, hey guys, what we talked about yesterday, we're still waiting. I made a couple of phone calls to see where it's at, waiting for some response. That's it. That's all we would rather have. Hey, let us know. Let us know that you remember what you promised. Let us know that you remember that you're actually working on whatever issues that you're working on. Let us know. That's all we freaking want. Dean, honestly, I don't trust any of the media. It's my take. I spoke about it before. Fox, CNN, Newsmax. I don't care. I don't care. A lot of people say Fox was great, and then after the election, everyone's like, "Oh, move to Newsmax, move to Newsmax." Listen, any of y'all who are a cop or have done any type of investigative work or were a parent know this. Okay, there's always three sides to the story. Theirs, his, and then the truth. All right, same thing. You have two sides for being a cop. You got two sides. You got theirs, and what truly happened. It's the same thing with the media. It's the same thing. You got Fox, CNN, and the truth is in the middle. You got CNN, Newsmax. The truth is in the middle. We are so focused on flowing and flooding to the individuals that tell us what we want to hear. A lot of people left Fox because they were saying stuff we didn't want to hear, and they moved to Newsmax. And Newsmax is only showing what we want to hear. Everyone's saying is they're not biased. They're conservative. I'm a conservative. I am a Republican. But my point is, I want to hear both sides. I will watch CNN. I will watch Newsmax. I will watch Fox. I'll do my own research and find out what really is going on. I do believe that there is significant or sufficient evidence to prove that there was fraud. But my question I want to know is, was there enough fraud to make sure Trump actually did get elected? Where is this? This happens every election. Every election, someone says fraud, fraud, fraud. Well, how much of it was actually fraud? And is this going to be one of those things where they just give them a tap on the hand? Typical politicians. I don't think Trump will let this go. I hope he doesn't. But I really wish Biden would jump in and say, Trump, you know what? You're right. It looks like there is quite a bit of inconsistencies. So let's get this, because if I was Biden, I would say, I want to hear and I want to see so we can show the people that I truly won. That's if it was Biden. Biden should be saying that. I want the people to know I truly won. Trump should be all for that. Sweet. Yes, let's go. And if Biden did not, in fact, win and actually only won by all the fraud that was going on, then he should know, hey, and talk to the Democrats. Say, guys, you know what? There were some bad things that happened. I really was not elected president. Trump was. Let's work with him. Let's do what we need to do to make this country great. People are too focused on Democrat, Republican, he said, she said. I can care too less what the hell you think about somebody else. Work the frick together and fix the damn job. Fix everything. Excuse my language, I'm as passionate about it. The same thing happened during my election when I was running for office. There were two individuals, I won't name who they are, but they did not like each other at all. They could not stand each other. But they knew what I was going to do for this country, for this state, for this area, and both of them wanted the other one gone. But my whole mind says, I don't give a crap what you think about each other. Figure it out, stole your crap, and let's fix this problem. The same thing happens at work. Anybody here who has a job knows there's people here that we have to work with that we don't like. You work with people you don't like every single day, get the job done, move forward, go home. That's simple. We have elected officials up in office. I don't care if you don't like the Democrat or the Republican doesn't like the Republican or the Democrat doesn't Republican. I don't care. You work together. You fix the economy. You bring jobs to the area. You get rid of the fact that we are fourth worst in Ohio or in this nation for sex trafficking. We're second worst in this entire nation for childhood poverty. That's bull crap. We're 56.9% of all of our children are in poverty. That's the reason why we have to have nonprofits like the Sleep in Heavenly Peace or the Youngstown Blue Coats to make sure we get coats to the people who need them. There should be no need for nonprofits if we all work together. Yes, Dean, I did. It's every election. They always say something's wrong. Whoever doesn't win says it. But even if there was some type of allegation in regards to the election, I do think that both sides should look in and be like, hey, let's figure this out. You say there was. It's the same thing. If my wife called the cops and said I did something to her, they'd come, they would investigate it. It's the same thing. Election, there's fraud. Okay, you have this case of fraud. This is your evidence. Let's look into it. Let's investigate it. Both parties investigate, work together, and show the nation transparency. It's that simple. Kevin, yeah, you're right. Everyone's lost critical thinking skills. That's the problem. People are too focused on they're too focused on the drama. I fucking don't do drama. I don't like it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm divorced. I had too much of that drama already. I don't need any more. We don't want any more drama. We want to see results. That's what we deserve as the people. We deserve results. Yes, if it looks like I'm tired, it's because I am tired. That's why I got my coffee. But we want results. I want elected officials who will show results, who will give me the transparency that I deserve, and that I rate, that I want. Those are the people I want in office. Biden is too busy acting like president. He should be doing both. He thinks he won. He should be prepping himself to take the seat of January 20th. He should be prepping himself. But at the same time, bringing his staff, his people in with Trump's people and saying, let's figure this fraud crap out, because we need to figure it out, because we need our nation to move forward and not be at a damn standstill, especially during this type of crisis that we're going through right now. Regardless of what you think about the COVID, whether you think it's real or not, we are right now in a time of crisis. Our economy is about to crap the bed. Yes, the stock market's doing good, but I'm fearful of it. We need to make sure we have a good stepping stone to step on the following day. Excuse me. Sorry. Hey, if I wasn't live, I would be able to cut that out. So act like I cut that burp out. I saw a lot of comments to individuals saying they started about fast food when I was talking about the poverty and the jobs that are going out there. I honestly won't have anything else. That was pretty much it. I did tell you guys I would let you know, but the three races that are in my sights right now are state rep for the 58th, Michelle LaPorte-Hagen. Obviously, I wouldn't be running against her. Who knows? Commissioner for Mahoning County. And depending on how they district, because of the phone call I received not too long ago, I'll let you guys know. But if they are going to do some redistricting with the congressional, I will be kicking Tim Ryan's butt out of his seat. Everyone knows I can. Everyone knows I will. Those are my three seats. And the reason why is because those are the three that need the most amount of change. Mahoning County commissioners need to step it up a little bit. Stop doing the showboating and actually doing things to improve. We have shootings every day in Youngstown. We got roads that need to get fixed. Our economy is already crap in the bed. We got jobs being moved out. We have stores closing left and right. We got small businesses filing bankruptcy. Our state rep needs to get involved more. She needs to stop actually co-sponsoring bills and actually sponsor some bills and actually get those bills off the desk, wipe the dust off, and actually do things to improve our area here in the state. Because she's just not doing anything. And whoever's going to run against her or run for that seat, I hope they have the same mindset as well. Tim Ryan, I'm sorry, man. You just suck, dude. I mean, you're not doing anything. You're just a showboater. You like the camera. You only do things when it involves you or when you think it's going to better you. You don't care about anybody except yourself. You only push legislation when it benefits you. I mean, that's it, man. You've only had like 3 bills that passed. So those are the 3 things that in my eyes. We have time. The election hasn't even been a month yet. But my whole goal, as everyone knows, is to improve this area, to improve whatever I can. And the reason why I have 3 is because I want to work with my fellow Ohioans. We're going to play chess together. Not literally, but we're going to figure out who will be best suited in each position. And we work together. We be united. We have a united front. We attack it head on, and we make improvements so that way not our lives, but our children's lives actually can continue. Because right now, the way it's going down the drain. We need jobs. We need businesses to move here. Look at Lordstown Motors. They're already being sued twice. One for not paying bills, another one for stealing the money. Apparently, they have not paid their bills. And another one was that, what was it? Apparently, they stole the very fabric of what their job was about. They stole it from a different company. So we'll see what happens with that, shall we? No, exactly, Trudy. We haven't heard anything. We haven't heard from any of them. I haven't heard anything from Lepore Hagen. I haven't heard anything from Ryan. I haven't heard anything from Ditzler or Chafkin or that female. Can never say her damn name. I don't know why, but she's up for re-election here in our, I want to say next year. Yeah, this coming election, I believe it is. I think I know who might be running for her seat, and he would have my full support if he did. He definitely would be great. I won't say his name because he hasn't made anything official yet, but I think he would do a great job for this county. I just hope he does. Yeah, that's all he ever says, is that he's pissed off. I would love to hear an actual elected official actually finally say, Dean, is that, GM is GM's fault. Listen, I don't even blame Tim Ryan for it. I really don't. A lot of people blame Tim Ryan for GM. I don't blame Tim Ryan for GM leaving. Because listen, no elected official, no government official can force a business to stay in business. No government official can force a business to stay in business at a certain location. They can't. You can't do that. GM wanted to leave. What an elected official could do is talk to the business, see why it is that they're leaving. What is it that they can do to help them be able to sustain business here in this area? But he didn't even do that. If you guys don't know, my whole studio is actually downstairs. So all that noise you're all hearing is my little 4-year-old running up and down. What I'll do tomorrow, actually, someone pointed this out. We're going off topic here for a second. They wanted to see what my life is like on a daily reel. If you guys don't know, I actually have a green screen behind me. This is not a real American flag. I do have one, but this is actually a green screen. So I'll show you around my house. I want people to know that I am not this extravagant individual. My garage is a mess. All right. It's like a storage. It is a mess as heck. I normally have I have a couch right there. It's my little man cave. Last time I used it as a couch, I don't know. I do laundry. I throw clothes on it. It normally holds my clean clothes. And then when I change the next morning, I grab it out of the pile. I know, but believe it or not, I did it today. So the reason why we'll do that is I want people to know that how normal of an individual I actually really am. I am not this high society that's drinking coffee and trying to, hold my pinky out. I'm not that type of person, I shop at Walmart. This shirt right here probably cost me like $6. My shoes are worth like $10. I'm not. I would never change. This is who I am. My hat is actually broken in the back. This is actually me. I bought this. You guys don't know. It actually is broken, but I love this hat. I got this at me and my wife's anniversary when we went down to DC. So it's my hat. It's got a blue paint stain on it. I could buy another one. It's only $10, but I mean, I like it. It's mine. It's the type of person I am. Humble. I think that's the reason why we need extra real individuals elected in office to represent real people such as ourselves, such as each and every single one of you. Yes, I want to represent everybody, but the problem is people like us, we always get forgotten. Why? Because we have somebody with multi-million dollars in their pocket, or they're being backed by individuals such as that who claim they're for us, but they're clearly not. When you have a property, 3 or 4 bedroom house with like 10 acres, and you don't work and just your husband works, tells me, where's your money coming from? How can you afford all that and just not work? Kind of says a lot about you. I know you're probably hearing that banging. That's my 4-year-old. He's been wild today. I don't think he'll be coming down today though, but he is just the best thing in the world. So I'll leave you guys at that. If you know who your elected official is, write him a letter, send him an email, make a phone call, and ask him, what is it you're going to do to improve our poverty level? What are you going to do that is going to stop Ohio from actually becoming the 3rd worst or 2nd worst in sex trafficking? Because right now we're 4th. We were 5th like almost 2 years ago. And we're actually, for the poverty, we're on track to be the 1st. By 2021, February 2021, we are on track to be the worst city, Youngstown, worst city in childhood poverty. I'm pretty sure if they did a census now, we probably are. But when they do their polling or whatever it is they do to determine that, we will be the 1st worst. It is ridiculous. It's just, it breaks my heart. It really does. Yes, Kevin, they have. Absolutely. So with that being said, I want to say God bless you all. God bless America. If you guys need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. I've always given my phone number out there. I'll do it again. It's 330-531-1007. Call me, text me. If I don't answer, leave a message. Obviously, I have a family, but I will get back to you. I actually pride myself on the fact that I get back to individuals really quick. If I don't and I forgot, I sincerely apologize. Just blow my phone up and I will answer it. I'm always on Facebook, checking the messages, do when I can. Excuse me. Let me know if there's an issue you would like me to talk about or look into, or just give my 2 cents on. Let me know. We're going to start doing a little bit more shorter skits, not just lives, but I'll post some videos on just one particular topic on how I would actually combat. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about, but we've already been talking for an hour, is how I plan on improving our poverty. How do I plan on getting rid of the trafficking issue we got here in Ohio, specifically Mahoney County and Youngstown and Austintown? How do I plan on lowering the drug that's going on here? How do I plan on lowering the crime? How do I plan on bringing businesses? These are all things that I will be covering, period. So let me know if there's a topic that I'm not discussing that you would like me to. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to. So with that being said, it is still November. Hopefully this actually works. So this is actually the last post we'll have for November. If you guys don't know, November 10th, 1775 was the Marine Corps' birthday. So here's our last tribute to the Marines. Let's see if it actually works. It's not working. Let's try this again. Hold on a second. And there we go. All right. God bless you all, and God bless America.
The words honor, courage, and commitment. They are the few. They are the proud. They are the United States Marines. Semper Fi, my brothers and sisters. Semper Fi. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's baby.